All right, good morning. Happy Friday. I'm so excited. I know you guys probably are too, that this is the last day of school for a while. I'm sure you're looking forward to a break like I am. I'm exhausted, and I know you guys probably are too. Going to talk to you for a minute. First of all, I think you heard me mention that if your grade is like a borderline F or you're just not happy with your, do not contact me, so we can take a look and see if there's anything we can do. I don't ever want students to ever think, I'm stuck on this B plus and I just can't get that A and I really want that A. I want you to get the grade. I'm not going to give you a grade, but I want you to get the grade that you want. Those are in the 57% and the 50%, and you really want to pass the class. Don't hesitate to talk with me. There might be something we can do, especially if you attend class, especially if you're engaged, especially if you're doing assignments. If I feel like that you really want something by your actions, then I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure you get where you want. But don't wait till December though, because it's going to be too late then. I'm not going to get stressed out by 100 and some students. So I'm going to do very little in December. So this Thanksgiving holiday would be a great time to take care of business if you want to contact me. All right, now in third period and fourth period, I got upset and I got worked out, and I was basically, ripping them a new one because they weren't doing what I wanted. And so I'm going to give you a pep talk before we go into the teams so that hopefully I won't get myself all worked up. So we had a lot of people absent on Wednesday with the PSAT, and I was expecting that. So I knew that. For those of you who were absent, we worked a lot in teams on this dividing on this sheet right here. And today what I want to do is we are going to work through the practice AB. I don't care if you've done it or not. And we're not going to work 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to work one in this section, one in this section, one in this section, one in this section. So it's going to be very structured. And you do have new teams, by the way. So the reason I got so upset with period 3 and 4 is they weren't talking, they weren't showing their videos, they weren't, working together. And I'm just letting you know a couple things. First of all, I think it is disrespectful for you not to show your video. Okay. And not only that, but not showing your video is making things 10 harder than the hardness in this pandemic that we're already facing. So showing your video means you could hold up a paper to show your work. When you're not showing your video, you're having to speak a difficult mathematical language sometimes, which is hard to do, especially if we're doing synthetic division or long division or something. It's almost near impossible. So showing your video, you could always hold up your paper. I have a student in one of my classes that has a whiteboard. She has a little whiteboard able to show her team, and they're able to work through it together. Highly effective. And that team always finished first because they were really collaborating and being able to work together. Whenever I write on the board, whether you did the problem or not, write it down. And the reason why is I'm modeling the notation. So you want to see if your notation matches my notation. So you're always writing. And when you're in your teams, if you do the problems that I assign, don't just sit around. That drives me crazy. There's plenty of problems I've given you to work. So practice, practice, practice. If you finish something, find something else to do with your team. Okay, I think that's all I want to say. All right, so the first thing I want to do, does anybody want to ask me any questions about lesson 6.5?
Can we do the long division problems? Because I don't really understand it.
Okay, I'll let you do that in your group because it's going to take up too much time. Okay, so I'm going to let you, maybe I should. Okay, which one do you want me to do? I'll do it quickly.
Can we do one on practice AB?
You're going to do that in the groups.
Okay.
So I don't want to do it because you're going to do it in your teams. I'll do number 5 in your assignment. So I'm doing number 5 on page 329. And I'm going to work it fast because I don't want to waste time here. So I think that's it. -1. And it's divided by, what is it? X squared minus 4. Now you can actually, you can't use synthetic division on this because this is not a simple linear binomial. So you're forced to use long division anyway. So make sure you have all the powers shown or all the variables. If there is a power missing, you must put a 0. If it's missing, you must put a 0. So it's in and out. The dividend divided by the divisor, x squared minus, and you're asking yourself x squared times what gives that? So that's going to be 18x. So off to the side of the paper, you take that 18x times the divisor. So that would be 8x cubed minus, I think, 72x. So that's what you're going to subtract off. So you get 18x cubed minus 72. So this minus, and this is where people are going to mess up. This is -3 plus 2 because you have to distribute the negative. So 72 minus 3 is, I think, 69x plus x minus 1. Now you go through the process again. So x squared times 1 is, that be an x squared? Did I subtract that up the wrong thing? 18x, yeah, so this is all wrong. I put it under the wrong term. So what we have here is we have 18x cubed, and then this minus 72x should go over here, so we're lining these up in parentheses. So that would be a 0. This would be -3x squared, and this would be -72 positive, and a positive is 73x. What is that? Would be a -3. So off to the side of the paper, we have -3 times the divisor, which is 3x squared minus 12. So this is -3x squared minus 12. That doesn't go under there. So this would be a negative plus that is 0, 73x, and a negative and a positive would be a positive.
Wouldn't it instead of minus or negative?
Yeah, 12 is a mistake somewhere. It's a positive 12. Or is it? Oh, over here. A negative times a negative is a positive. So this should be a positive 12. I don't know if that's what you were saying or not. But this would be a negative, and a negative is a -13. So you're going to write your answer 2 different ways. So here's the 2 different ways. The first way is the dividend is equal to the divisor, which is x squared minus 4, times the quotient plus the remainder, 73x minus 13. And this should multiply and add to give the dividend. So that's one answer. Let me just check and make sure I wrote it right. Okay, the second answer, you're going to write it as the quotient plus the remainder over the divisor. So I want you to practice, and I want it written 2 different ways. Why? Because I don't know how the SAT is going to have you do it. So I want it written 2 different ways. So it's the same answer written 2 different ways. All right, anybody want to ask me a question about it? Okay, listen carefully. In your new team, if this is the first time in there, I want you guys to introduce yourself and say what your favorite holiday is. Is it Thanksgiving, Christmas, Veterans Day, Halloween, and why? Favorite holiday and why? And what you do. You are not working 1, 2, 3, 4. You're working problem number 1, number 5, number 9, and 11, and you're going to report back to me. So right now it's a little after 11:01. You're going to report back at 11:20. So you're going to try to do these 4 problems and report back to me 11:20. Actually, so you can introduce yourself. Let's change it to 11:25. Okay, so you're going to report back to me at 11:25. And you're going to try to do these 4 problems. Make sure you're working together, because guess what? It's not going to go well if you don't. Okay? Okay, I'll see you in your teams. Okay, so let me explain to you why I'm frustrated today. I taught this lesson on Monday. This is Friday, and you guys don't know what you're doing. So I'm just letting you know that I'm going to probably tighten up the lesson. So instead of giving you time, see, I gave you time. I made the deadline over the break, and what you did is you're waiting to do it over the break, and that's just not going to happen. I mean, so you can expect I'm going to be giving you less time on assignments, because you've got to be doing them. You got to hold yourself accountable on a daily basis. And this is a lesson. The book work should have been done in 1 day. This assignment should have been done in a couple of days. Now it's Friday, and you don't have the slightest idea what's going on. So things are going to change a little bit. This happened in all 3 of my honors periods, and I think I'm giving you too much time to do the assignments. So I'm going to tighten it up. So on this first problem, they're saying to divide using long division. So it's going to be x squared minus x minus 6 divided by x minus 3. And whether you did this or not, I want you to write it down, because you're going to look at your work and see if your work matches the model that I'm giving as far as notation goes. So you're going to look at this and go, x times what is x squared? X. Off to the side of the paper, you have x times x minus 3, which is x squared minus 3x, and that's what you're going to subtract off. So x squared minus 3x. So this is negative minus a negative would be a negative plus 3 is 2x, and bring the negative 6 down. This is x times what is 2x would be 2 off to the side of the paper, 2 times the divisor, which is 2x minus 6. So that's what you're subtracting off. So what you have here is 2 minus 2x is 0, negative plus 6 is 0. And so you're going to write your answer 2 ways. The 2 ways are the dividend is equal to the divisor times the quotient plus the remainder is just 0. And like I said, you could check yourself to make sure that multiplies to get that, and it does. The other way I want you to write it is like we did in 3rd grade. The quotient plus the remainder over the divisor is not needed because the remainder is 0. Number 5 is 3x squared minus 8x plus 4 divided by x minus 2. Read the directions. It says divide by using synthetic division. So in order to use synthetic division, you look at this and say, what makes that 0? 2. Put it in the box. Write down all the coefficients of the variables, 3, negative 8, and 4. If a variable is missing, you must put a 0 as a placeholder. If the constant's missing, you must put a 0 as a placeholder. So bring down the 3, multiply and get 6, add, multiply and get negative 4 is 0. So we're going to write our answer the same exact way because they're asking for the same exact thing. They're asking you to divide. So the dividend is 3x squared minus 8x plus 4. It's equal to the divisor. Now the quotient is the depressed polynomial. So you started with the quadratic. So now this is going to be 3x minus 2, and there is no remainder. And once again, you can multiply that out and see that you get that dividend. The other way to write it is you're going to take the quotient, which is a linear factor, 3x minus 2, and you're going to add the remainder. Well, there is no remainder. So see, this is my point I'm making. You guys are making me do these problems, which I shouldn't have to do this. I should be able to just give you the answers and we can move on. But now I feel like I'm teaching the lesson again because you don't know what you're doing. And I thought I gave you all the examples you needed on Monday. So I'm just letting you know that in my opinion, you should be able to do these problems. And you're lucky I didn't give you an exam, but now I'm thinking I should have given you an exam today. And I should have made these assignments due on Wednesday and Thursday. That's what I should have done. I'll know better next time because I'm giving you too much time to do the assignments. Moving on to problem number 9. Number 9 is a polynomial p of x is equal to 4x squared minus 9x plus 2. And they're saying 4x equals 3. And we're going to read the directions. It says to use synthetic substitution to evaluate. So we are not dividing. We are evaluating, and evaluating since August 5th has been find the number. And the number that we want is going to be in the remainder. So on an exam, if you plug this in for x, you can get the right answer, but I'm going to mark it wrong because they're telling you to use synthetic substitution. So now you're going to put 3 in the box. And this is going to be 4, negative 9, and 2. So you bring the 4, and the answer is going to be over here, ladies and gentlemen. So you bring down the 4, and you multiply and get 12. You add and get 3. You multiply and get 9. And the answer is 11. So you're going to write P of 3 is equal to 11. And if you don't believe me, plug the 3 in and you're going to get an 11 out. So this is evaluating. We did the same thing as division, but notice we wrote a different answer. So that's what's confusing. You know, we're doing the same thing in these problems, but we're writing different answers. We're finding answers in different places. And the fourth objective is problem number 11. They give us a linear binomial with a semicolon, and they give us a polynomial p of x is equal to x squared plus 8x minus 48. And what do the directions say? It says determine if that binomial is a factor of that. Now we know what factors are. Factors of 12 are 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 12, because those are numbers that multiply to give 12. Same thing here. They want to know, does that binomial multiply to something to give a polynomial? Does it go into it evenly? Well, what do? We're going to do this synthetic substitution again. And the answer is not going to be division. And the answer is not going to be that. The answer is going to, what we're looking at is the remainder 0? Because the remainder theorem says, if you get a remainder of 0, you found a factor. So once again, what makes this 0? 4. We're going to put in the coefficients 1, 8, and negative 48. So you bring down the 1 and multiply, add, multiply, and add. Now, since the remainder is 0, we found that this thing is a factor. And this guy is a solution. And they want us now to say, okay, is it? Yes, it is. And what you're going to do now is you're going to write the polynomial as a product of factors. Well, what are the factors? Well, one of them is x minus 4, and the other one is the depressed polynomial. So we started with the quadratic. So this is going to be 1x plus 12. And we can't break those factors down anymore. Those are linear factors. So let me elaborate on this. Let's say you found a factor and you get this as your product of factors. Well, you're going to have to break it down. That's why we went through all this factoring, because you have to break this down to x minus 4. That's the difference of squares, x plus 2 times x minus 2. So you're going to have to break it down all you can. For example, if it was a cubic with 4 terms, you're going to have to break it down. So you're going to have to break it down to linear factors if you can. All right, now we're going to go back into the teams again. We're going to try to do 4 problems. We're going to go back up and we're going to do problem number 2, problem number 6, problem number 10, and 12. And then you're going to report back here. So I'll give you time. So let's see if we can do 4 problems by 12 o'clock. Then you'll report back here. All right, I'll see you in your teams. All right. Hopefully you made it back. Let's take a look at these. Problem number 2. This explicitly says to use long division. So this would be 2x cubed minus 10x squared plus x minus 5. So x times what is 2x cubed? That would be 2x squared. Off to the side of the paper, you have 2x squared times the divisor, which would be 2x cubed minus 10x squared. So this would go away, and a negative plus that goes away. So you're just dropping down an x minus 5. So x times what is that? 1. So it's just 1 times the divisor, which is itself. So you're subtracting off x minus 5, which is x minus x. Negative 5 plus 5 is 0. So the dividend equals the divisor times the quotient, and there is no remainder. And if you want to check to see if this is correct, you would multiply these two together and see if you get the cubic dividend. The other way I want you to write it is the quotient plus the remainder of the divisor. There is no remainder, so you're just stuck with that. Okay, the next problem is number 6. 5x squared minus 4x plus 12 divided by x plus 3. So this time it says divide. So we're going to have the same type of answers, but it says divide using synthetic division. So you're going to put whatever makes this 0 would be negative 3 in the box. And this would be a 5, a negative 4, and 12. So you bring down the 5 and you multiply and get negative 15, add and get negative 19. Multiply and get 57 and add is 69. So remember what they asked. They said to divide. So you're going to have the dividend again is equal to the divisor times the quotient, which is 1 less than the dividend. It'd be 5x minus 19 plus the remainder. And the other way you're going to write it is you're going to take the depressed polynomial, which is 5x minus 19, that's the quotient, plus the remainder over the divisor. All right, the next problem was number 10. Number 10 gave you a polynomial, p of x is equal to negative 3x squared plus 10x minus 4. And then they say 4x equals negative 2. We have to read the directions. So the directions say use synthetic substitution to evaluate. Evaluate means find a number. So we change gears and go, okay, we're going to put a negative 2 in the box. We're going to do synthetic substitution, but we're not going to write what we did over there. We're going to look at the remainder. So bring down the negative 3, multiply and get 6, add and get 16. This would be what, negative 32? Is that right? This doesn't seem right. Did I make a mistake? Is that right, guys?
I got that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, thank you. So the answer would be p of negative 2, then when x is negative 2, y is negative 36. And if you wanted to substitute the negative 2 in, but don't do that on a test. If I ask you to use substitution, make sure you do it this way and you circle the remainder. You can check yourself by substituting it in if you want. Obviously, on your own, you can do whatever you want, but I'm testing you to see, can you do the synthetic substitution to get do the evaluating? Okay, the next problem is number 12. And number 12 is x plus 5 with a colon, and then they give the polynomial p of x is equal to 2x squared minus 6x minus 1. And in this problem, they're asking you to determine if that binomial is a factor of the polynomial. And we use the remainder theorem to find out, because if the remainder is 0, it means it's a factor. So we're going to do the synthetic substitution again. And this time, what makes this 0? -5. This would be 2, -6, and -1. So bring down the 2, you get -10. Add and get -16. Multiply and get 80. And the remainder 79. So no. X plus 5 is not a factor. And the reason why is the remainder is not 0, and it does not comply to the remainder theorem. And we can't write a product of factors because it's not a factor. So hopefully all you have left on this, you're going to continue. When you finish this assignment, you're going to continue with 3, 7, 4, 8, and then 13. All right, listen, I hope you guys have a great week. I am thankful for you. I do realize I'm a strict teacher, but take that as a compliment because I want to push you to your full potential. And I want you to have an idea about what real life is like, that nothing's free. And you're going to have to work really hard to get everything you want. You can do it, but you're going to have to work hard. I don't want you to have any misconceived notions about college being easy and anything getting easy from here on out, because it's all going to be blood, sweat, and tears. So all of you guys who are working hard, you attend class every day, you try to do what I want, you participate. Good job. Keep up the good work. Not being married, not ever having been married or having kids. You guys are my kids. So I'm like your stepmom, you know. I care about you so much, you know, and really my whole life is centered around you and trying to do the best job I can for you guys. So I want you guys to do the best you can for yourselves. Don't be lazy. You guys have got to hold yourself accountable and be doing what you're supposed to be doing on a daily basis. But hope you guys have a great week. Stay safe. And with whatever you're doing, I hope you have a good time and I hope you're able to get some rest. All right. It was great. All of you who showed your video, you made my day today. It was so good to see you. It is depressing for me when I don't get to see you and I'm just talking to a screen. It makes me sad. So thank you so much. And I'll see you guys. Okay. Have a good week.
Have a great Thanksgiving, Ms.
Have a great Thanksgiving.
Thank you. Thanks, Will. Bye, Emily. You guys have a good week.
Bye, Miss Birch.
Bye, Leslie.
Ms. Birch.
You guys have a good week. Isaac.
Bye, Miss Birch.
Bye, Seth. Bye, guys. Have a good week.
Miss Birch, I just wanted to apologize about the long division problem and like just us being slow as a group. It's because I understood how to do like the steps, but the thing was I was making problems on how to incorporate the numbers, like which number goes with which, and then once you clarified it, that's when my group, because my group also had problems with the long division too, that's when my group started going faster. So I just wanted to apologize if it came off the wrong way. Like,
No. I appreciate that. I'm not upset because of you. All day in period 3 yesterday and then period 4 and 5 today, I feel like because I made the assignment due at, next week, that nobody did the work this week. That means from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, nobody did anything. And that really concerns me because I have been listening to you guys about the test being too long. So I've tried to fix that. I have heard you guys about the number of problems that I'm assigning. But the thing is that If I'm giving you too much time to do an assignment, I'm enabling you to be lazy. That's not going to be good. So I have to self-evaluate over the break, but yeah, thank you, but no worries. Yeah, it was really just everybody that wasn't really ready today. So have a good week. Thanks, April.
Have a good Thanksgiving break.
Thanks, hon. You too. Bye, guys. Bye, guys. Have a good week.